Have you ever heard of a president who promised to serve only one term, laid out 4 major goals, and then achieved every single one of them? Meet James K. Polk, the dark horse candidate who galloped into the White House in 1845 and completely redrew the map of the United States. His presidency wasn't just about politics. It was about an idea, a powerful and controversial idea called manifest destiny. This was the belief that the United States was destined, even divinely ordained, to expand across the North American continent, from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Polk didn't invent this idea, but he became its greatest champion, and his actions would set the stage for the America we know today. So how did this relatively unknown politician from Tennessee pull it off? It all started with one of the most contentious issues of the day: Texas. The Lone Star Republic had been independent for nearly a decade, and many Americans, especially in the South, were eager to bring it into the Union. But it was a political minefield. Annexing Texas meant risking war with Mexico, which still considered Texas its own territory. It also threatened to reignite the fiery debate over slavery, as Texas would enter as a slave state, upsetting the delicate balance of power in Congress. The previous presidents, Jackson, Van Buren, and Tyler, had all tiptoed around the issue. But not Polk. He made the annexation of Texas a cornerstone of his campaign. He saw it not just as adding a new state, but as a critical step in fulfilling America's continental destiny. Upon taking office, Polk wasted no time. Just 3 days after his inauguration, he dispatched a diplomat to Mexico, hoping to purchase California and New Mexico and formally settle the Texas border. But Mexico, insulted by the annexation, refused to even meet with him. This diplomatic snub, combined with a border dispute along the Rio Grande, gave Polk the justification he needed. He claimed American blood had been shed on American soil, and in 1846, Congress declared war on Mexico. The Mexican-American War was a defining and deeply controversial moment of Polk's presidency. Critics, including a young congressman named Abraham Lincoln, denounced it as an unjust war of aggression designed to expand slavery. But for supporters of manifest destiny, it was a necessary conflict to secure America's future. The war was swift and decisive. American forces, though often outnumbered, won a series of stunning victories, culminating in the capture of Mexico City. While war raged in the South, Polk was simultaneously juggling another major territorial dispute thousands of miles away in the Pacific Northwest. This was the Oregon Country, a vast expanse of land stretching from the Rockies to the Pacific, jointly occupied by the United States and Great Britain. For years, American settlers had been pouring into the region via the Oregon Trail, fueled by dreams of fertile land and a new life. Polk's campaign had echoed the popular aggressive slogan, 54-40 or fight, which demanded the entire territory for the U.S., up to the southern border of Russian Alaska. This was a bold, even reckless stance that could have easily led to a war with the most powerful empire on Earth, Great Britain. Imagine fighting a war on 2 fronts. But Polk was a master negotiator, a shrewd poker player on the world stage. He knew that 54-40 or fight was mostly a bluff. It was a negotiating tactic to show the British he was serious. Behind the scenes, he was much more pragmatic. Neither nation truly wanted another war, especially Britain, which was more concerned with its vast global empire. Polk skillfully used the threat of conflict and the growing number of American settlers in the region as leverage. He proposed a compromise to split the Oregon Country along the 49th parallel. This line was a natural extension of the existing U.S.-Canada border. After some tense negotiations and posturing on both sides, the British agreed. In 1846, the Oregon Treaty was signed. With the stroke of a pen, Polk had peacefully secured a massive territory that would eventually become the states of Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and parts of Montana and Wyoming. He had avoided a catastrophic war while still delivering on a major campaign promise. With the Mexican-American War ending in 1848 with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, the full scale of Polk's ambition became clear. In exchange for just $15 million, Mexico ceded a colossal territory known as the Mexican Cession. This included all of present-day California, Nevada, and Utah, most of Arizona, and parts of New Mexico, Colorado, and Wyoming. In just a few short years, Polk had added over 1.2 million square miles of land to the United States, an increase of nearly two-thirds. It was the largest territorial expansion since the Louisiana Purchase. Think about it. The California Gold Rush, the tech hubs of Silicon Valley, the national parks of Utah and Arizona, all of this became part of the American story because of the events that unfolded during Polk's single term. But Polk's four big goals didn't stop with land. He also had a domestic economic agenda. His third goal was to lower tariffs. Tariffs are taxes on imported goods, and at the time, they were a major source of conflict between the industrial North, which wanted high tariffs to protect its factories, and the agricultural South, which wanted low tariffs for cheaper goods. Polk, a Southerner, sided with the low-tariff camp. In 1846, he signed the Walker Tariff into law, which significantly cut rates and led to a boom in trade. His fourth and final goal was to establish an independent treasury system. This was meant to separate the government's finances from private banks, which Polk and his fellow Democrats believed were unstable and corrupt. After a tough political fight, he succeeded in creating the independent treasury, which would remain a cornerstone of U.S. financial policy for decades. So, in just 4 years, James K. Polk had done it all. He annexed Texas, he secured Oregon, he acquired the vast territories from Mexico, and he reformed the nation's finances. True to his word, he did not seek re-election. Exhausted from the immense pressures of the presidency, he retired and, tragically, died just 3 months later. His legacy is complex and, for many, deeply troubling. The expansion he championed came at a great cost, leading to a war and displacing countless Native American and Mexican populations. Furthermore, by adding so much new territory, he reignited the explosive issue of whether slavery would be allowed to expand. In many ways, the vast lands acquired under Polk became the battlegrounds of the 1850s, setting the nation on an irreversible path toward the Civil War. But you can't deny his effectiveness. James K. Polk stands as a testament to what a president with a clear vision and unwavering determination can achieve. He was a president who said what he was going to do, and then did it. He fundamentally reshaped the continent and, in doing so, forged the physical boundaries of the modern United States. Whether you see him as a visionary leader or a ruthless expansionist, his one-term presidency was without a doubt one of the most consequential in American history. What do you think? Was Manifest Destiny an inevitable and positive chapter in American growth, or a dark period of conquest? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into history, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video.